Keith, I know, moving away from the refereeing decisions, I know you were at Lennoxtown today to meet with the Celtic manager, Brendan Rodgers.
Yeah.
And he appeared to double down on his comments regarding Celtic fans.
Sure did. I was interested to see how he handled it today, Brendan Rodgers. I was wondering if he might kind of throw the olive branch a little bit, and in some respects he did. But he made the point and he repeated the point. He sees it as his job. His job is to give his players the best environment to make it most likely for them to succeed and perform to the level that he demands and he's looking for. Now, whether that's the training environment, whether it's the food that they eat, the pre-match routines, the stretches, etc., part of that whole package is the atmosphere inside Celtic Park. And he feels if he can influence that, and we're talking about minor gains all the time these days, if he can influence the atmosphere, if he can bring the fans together with the team and put on forge this united front, then that helps the players. That brings another 1%, 2%, 3% out of the performance level. And so he makes no apology for calling out the Celtic fans at the weekend. He repeated what he said, and he said, by the way, I think I'm experienced enough now, I'm long enough in the tooth that I can say what I feel. I can express my opinion, and I shouldn't have to back down on that. That was the quote. I'm not going to beat about the bush when I'm talking about the bush. I didn't know if it was Brendan Rodgers or Pedro Kick Sr. at that point, but no, I mean, he certainly wasn't backing down from it, not in any way, shape or form. And it'll be really interesting to see now, because there's been such a mixed response to this over the last 48 hours. It's going to be fascinating to see what it feels and looks like inside the stadium tomorrow night when Celtic are home to Dundee United. Are the fans going to get in line behind Brendan Rodgers? I think the vast majority of them will, but you know what it's like. We all know what it's like, football these days, and social kind of behaviour in general. There's a section of society that don't want to be told anything by anyone, especially not anyone who resembles a figure of authority, and they rebel against it, and they noisily rebel against it. So are we going to see something there tomorrow night that looks like that? I don't know. I hope not, because, I think Brendan Rodgers and the Celtic fans have come through a period of healing. I think there was a section of Celtic fans, we all know who we're talking about, who were displaying banners, who were, highly offensive, highly aggressive towards him when he left for Leicester City. They then clearly weren't happy about him coming back. You would think that the last period of success has been a period of healing between the pair of them. My worry is that there are people in there, malcontents, who have been perhaps waiting for a moment to use against them and to say this is why we should, we were right in the first place about him. I think Brendan Rodgers deserves greater levels of respect than that from the Celtic support, and I'm hoping that the vast majority get in line, even though I suspect there might be a noisy minority who aren't willing to do so tomorrow night.
Well, Scott, before I bring in that, there is a noisy minority on the Record Sport social media channels. That his comments today really hasn't gone down well with a lot of the Celtic fans getting in touch. Danny says to me he's basically making his escape route clear. Falling out with the fans is a no-no after we just forgave him for bolting at the back door halfway through a season. Kendo follows up by saying, once again, Brendo's Egan is overtaking the size of the club. The fans pay their money and they can sing what they want. Fraser, clearly Brendan Rodgers simply doesn't care about Celtic's fans.
There you go. Fans can sing what they want. Fans can do what they want. Fans can bring pyrotechnics into grounds. Fans should be given a free pass to do whatever they want, no matter how offensive it is to anybody else, how insulting it is to anybody else. I'm sick of this stuff. And unfortunately, no, that's the truth. No, because we live in this culture now where it's that's a great thing. How offensive can we be?
Aye.
How can we make people's skin crawl out there? How dare anybody try and tell us how to behave like decent human beings? It's a disgrace, this sort of culture that we're living in just now. And that's very disheartening for me. These guys should remember, if they're meant to be about supporting Celtic and watching Celtic and wanting to see Celtic lift trophies, this man's a trophy machine. And they want to be, they're picking the fight with him here. And what he's asking for is not unreasonable. He's saying, support my team when it's 0-0, when this game could go either way, when we need to take home advantage, when we need the marginal gains that your support can give us. That's when we need it. We don't need it when we're 3 and 4-0 up, game's won. Do your job. You've got one job, support the team.
That comment there, Scott, that on the screen, all he was asking for was support, really, in Rodgers' defence. I mean,
and
how do you see it?
Listen, I think Brendan Rodgers has been pretty clever, and I think he knows what he's doing. I think he likes to do this every now and again. He likes to poke at the Celtic support a wee bit, and it normally comes when there's a wee bit of adversity or a negative result, and obviously off the back of the Old Firm game, the Old Firm defeat at Ibrox, I think it's been in his mind that I think his aim, I think the reason why he does it is he senses every now and again that there's a wee bit of complacency and a wee bit of entitlement among the Celtic support, and they don't really appreciate what they're producing, the winning runs that they're producing, the trophies that they're producing, the style of football that they're producing. And he just likes to remind them to get a wee bit of a reaction, as I say, especially after there's maybe been a wee bit of negativity, which obviously there was after Ibrox. And I slightly disagree with Jacko. I think there probably will be a positive reaction. I think the vast majority will get behind Rodgers, because he's done it knowing that despite the Rangers game, they're still well clear in the league. They're cruising at the top of the league in a nice position in Europe, one trophy in the bag. He's about to unveil one of the former heroes, an icon at Celtic Park in Tierney. He's in a strong position, and he's knew that when he's had a pop at the support.
Oh, he's done it from a position of strength, no doubt.
100%.
No doubt. But there is a gamble in there, Scott. There is a gamble in there, because this isn't, as he calls it himself, Brendan Mark 1. This is Brendan Mark 2. And water has gone under the bridge, and it has affected the relationship. And there will be real hardcore Celtic supporters who were never happy about him coming back, who have tolerated him, but will now react against him when he's telling them how to behave.
See, as long as they're winning, Jacko, that's as far as it will go. And Brendan Rodgers believes Brendan Mark 2 is better than Brendan Mark 1. That's what he thinks just now. And listen, he's probably justified. He thinks European performances and where they've got to so far. So I just think he's confident enough that he's got this team into a position. He's in a position himself where I'm not having that. I'm not having that wee bit of complacency. A wee bit of aggro, a wee bit of entitlement. Fans not happy with the passes going backwards. Maybe as a reaction to the Ibrox game, he's tried to nip it in the bud pretty quickly, knowing that he's in that position of strength. And as I say, I think he's done it a few times. I think you look back over seasons when they've had a wee kind of negative result, when you've not really expected it. Just like the other day in that press conference, nobody expecting those comments. Very strange at the time, but now when you're looking at them, I think he's just having a wee poke at them to get a response, get them focused again on the kind of job in hand. And I think ultimately it'll end up. Listen, you're always going to have the malcontents that Jacko's talking. There's always going to be that noisy minority that are never going to accept Brendan Rodgers being back. But I think the vast majority will respond positively to what he said and get behind them, and it'll actually improve them and make it better for the rest of the season.
He also said today during this discussion, he said, while for as long as I'm here in charge of this side, it's my job, my responsibility to talk to make sure that all these elements are there that will guarantee best performance levels from the players, all the different factors we discussed earlier. He says, and then when it's my time to step away, I'll step back and I'll wait for the next manager to come in and I'll give him my support. And I really look forward to watching 60 games a season of full intensity for 95 minutes, 3 times a week, and without any drop-offs. He says, that'll be great, that sounds great. So, yeah, he's thrown in little grenades, definitely done for a reason, but fundamentally, he's right. Celtic are stronger when the fans and the side are united. Every football team is stronger when its home support, its core support is united in complete alignment. That's what he's trying to do here. He's trying to get them in complete alignment because they're in a particularly busy part of the period of the season. And he knows if they can come through this, get these results, even if it's a grind, tomorrow night again, get 3 points, keep the 3 points coming in.